All right, you asked for it, so here it is. A complete video on how to adjust your front derailleur, whether you're using an entry-level group or whether you're using a top-tier group. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another great episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-host, Brandon Van Leeuwen. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Good morning.
How you been?
Doing all right.
Good week?
Same stuff.
Right on. It's getting warmer out there. It's getting warmer out there. Guys, look, if you could see the top of my head, it's sunburnt through my helmet, and Brandon just let me know that there's a UV skull cap. So now I don't have to worry about my ugly head getting burnt anymore.
This sounds like a short.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, enough of that. We'll get back on topic so you guys don't complain. You're talking so much. Once again, we're at the Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, because it's where the cool kids hang out, and me. And yes, as I alluded to, we are going to be doing a full video on how to adjust your front derailleur, whether you have an entry-level group, because it is definitely different than whether you're using a top-tier group, or even like 105, which I consider top tier, all the way up through Durace, Shram Eagle, XO, those types of groups.
You know what? We got to start over.
Why?
I don't have that little, my other derailleur to show you the sticker. We should have that.
The sticker?
Yeah. Remember the other one? I had that little sticker. We should start over.
Oh, man.
It's all right. That thing's important.
God. All right, so just pretend like that fade in, fade out. Yeah, guys, it's hard to believe that we actually have a competent show. Brandon runs a successful bike shop, and we don't drink in the morning. I get it. So anyways, yes, we are talking about how to adjust your front derailleur, whether it's entry level, whether we're talking, like I said, the Shram Eagle XO. That's where we left off, and all that other good stuff. Brandon, let's talk about some of the differences and what you're going to be showing our loyal, tolerant, patient viewers today.
So these days, as we know, on the mountain bike scene, we're not going to have a front derailleur.
Correct.
Everything is 1x11, everything is 1x12, so we don't have to worry about this, but there's still plenty of front derailleurs out there. It's important to know that we're going to use a 3-speed front derailleur. It's a very basic one, but it'll tell you everything you need to know, whether you have a current front derailleur that's on a, let's say, more entry-level bike,
right? Or
maybe you have a little bit older bike that's still 2x11, 2x10, and you're still running a front derailleur, a higher-end front derailleur, like a SRAM or old Shimano or something like that.
Right.
The process will still be the same.
Right.
So
I've actually noticed almost a push where some people in the mountain biking community are going back to a 2x. You know, they're still using that higher end component, but they're going back to a 2x because they're saying it's giving them more of a gear range, and they should have never gone back to a 1x. Video for another day, but it's interesting to see. It's almost a revolt.
I miss 2x. I absolutely miss it on my current mountain bike, for sure.
Yeah.
There are times where there's still, maybe you're heading back to the house or something from your trail, and you got a big long descent, and you're winding out. If I had a 2x, man, I could.
Oh yeah,
I could bump it up to the
or you're like me, riding back to your truck after a 12-mile friggin' downhill. Yeah. Oh man, dude, even that bailout gear, I was done.
But it does simplify things a lot. It does take more parts out of the equation. It's more efficient, truly, but still, I grew up with 3x,
yeah,
30 gears, 30 gears and all that, and I felt good shifting those things. I felt good running through them and having all those gear options. But I get it. I miss it too, but. That's cool.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, enough of the jibber jabber. I know, once again, guys, you want us to get to the point. You know, you could just scrub to where we start working on stuff. But I get it. We love you guys, seriously, though. And I understand some people are all about give me the quick 30 to 60 second lowdown. So
here we go. Here's how we're going to tackle this.
Let's tackle it. Tell me how.
We're going to pretend that we've already tried a few things.
Okay.
Your derailleur was out of adjustment, and now we've tried a couple things, and now we are starting from scratch. We're going to start from the very beginning on how to tune this puppy up from the very start.
All right.
What I'm going to need.
Hold on. Freaking, we got to transition now. Sucker.
All right.
You know how this works. All right. And give me a good oh, wait, we're good to go. Okay. Give me a good transition, Brandon, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Sexual chocolate.
All right. What are we doing?
All right, so things that we need. We need a Phillips screwdriver. We need a 5mm hex wrench to take the cable out. Now I'm going to use both a 3-way and one of these guys because sometimes the 3-way is a little cumbersome when we're dealing with the stand here. So let's go around the bike here, follow me, and we're going to take a look at our derailleur. Now, the first thing we're going to do, and just so you know, I did kind of mess this one up so that we could actually fix it because this one was off the floor. First thing we want to do when we're looking at our derailleur is two things. We're going to inspect the height and the configuration of the cage of this front derailleur. So when I'm talking about height, I'm looking about the distance between the bottom of our outer plate here and the highest tooth on our chainring. Just for an example, this is a very similar derailleur, and when you purchase a new derailleur, it actually comes with a guide. And you can see the guide, you line the teeth up, and there's about 2 or 3 millimeters gap. That's kind of like the sight picture. That's kind of what we're aiming for when we're talking about the height of the front derailleur. So if we determine that the height is good, we also want to make sure that the derailleur is straight. This thing can get bumped in a mishap, and it'll start moving the derailleur around. That's going to severely affect the shifting of the front derailleur. So height is good. This one is nice and lined up, nice and straight. So now I'm going to figure it's something else. So now we're going to start over. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift all the way to my lowest gear in the back. Lowest gear in the front.
Okay.
And now I'm going to barrel all the way in. You might have two barrels, an inline one and one of the shifters. This one has a shifter barrel, so I'm going to turn this one all the way in so that I have the most amount of cable to play with here. So barrels in, small, large in the back.
Okay.
And now I can unhook my front cable. I'm unhooking this front cable so I can do an accurate job of setting my low limit.
Okay.
I'm going to come around back this way, Thomas.
Yep.
So check this out. Our chain line is now in the most inboard position.
Right.
And what I want to do now is using my low limit screw, and what's nice about the less advanced derailleurs is they actually give you an L and an H. Distinguishing the two screws.
Okay.
So here's my low screw because it says low. And what I want to do now is dial this guy in until that inner plate is just a few millimeters away from the chain itself.
Okay.
Now this might take a couple of trial and errors as we get everything hooked up again, but this is where we're going to begin. So I'm going to go about 2 or 3 millimeters away, and then I'm going to rotate this guy a few times because sometimes, and it's the cranksets on these guys aren't exactly perfect.
Right.
So they might wobble a little bit, so that 2 or 3 millimeter gap might get sucked up by the imperfections of the parts.
Okay.
So now, provided that everything's nice and quiet, I'm going to be satisfied with that, and I'm going to rehook my cable. So we've set the low limit. Rehooking the cable, and on these derailleurs I do want to give it a little bit of tension, so I'm going to pull it, you know, fairly snug,
right?
But let's not get too crazy because we want to be able to barrel out a little bit later on.
Not like you're using a piano string to strangle somebody,
or a garrote wire. When tightening these cables, they don't have to be super tight. You don't have to flatten that thing out. Really, it's probably going to be... So now we've rehooked our cable. Some decent tension on here, but not a ton.
Right.
And if you want to come back around this way again, we're going to do our first shift and see how we've done. So my first shift, a little hesitant, and that's because I don't have enough cable tension set. So if you hear that and feel that in the shifting, that means you don't have enough cable tension to get you up smoothly into the next gear.
Okay.
So using now my barrel adjuster here, I'm going to barrel out so that I increase the cable tension and give it a snappier shift. So this is cross chain, so I can expect a little bit of rubbing here.
Right.
And I can remedy that by going back to a smoother chain line. So that goes up, in my opinion, nice and smooth up to my center ring.
Okay.
Now let's try the big ring here. So that feels good. I feel like my cable tension is pretty good, but we do have some work to do on our high limit.
Okay.
And then what you see here is, see the slack that I have built up here? Well, this has a potential to throw my chain off to the outside.
Okay.
My intention actually was to really mess it up and have the chain throw off for demonstration purposes, but this is good enough for you to see what I'm trying to get accomplished here. So all the slack needs to come out. I'm going to use my Phillips screwdriver again, now using our high limit screw and shifting as well. I'm going to dial in my high limit screw and then just watch that extra play disappear. So all the play is out.
Oh yeah, just like magic. Look at that.
I'm about 2 or 3 millimeters away from the chain, and now once again I'm going to give it a few rotations in our lowest gear, in our highest gear in the back, because now they were completely outboard on the chain, and now I know that it's not going to get any further out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give this a couple turns. It's quiet. It's not going to jump off. I'm satisfied with that. Now give it the beans. Go ahead and do some really aggressive shifting on this guy, because if it does it here, it's going to definitely do it under load and out in the real world. So that is a pretty good and pretty smooth front derailleur adjustment. Everything's working good. Now what you want to do, take this guy outside, put some pressure on the system, do the same thing before you hit the trail, because you want this happening under controlled circumstances as opposed to being out in the real world and throwing a chain or whatever. So I feel that's pretty good.
All right.
That one good.
Yeah, and now we're moving on to a higher end derailleur.
Okay.
Which is going to be on your road bike again or another road bike?
We'll do my road bike in case I messed it up.
Okay. Let's get to it then.
All right. So we've showed you how to do that mountain bike 3-speed front derailleur. We're now going to move on to the road bike. As we were saying before, the derailleur on those mountain bikes, they're all going to go away. But still very relevant is the front derailleur on a road bike, because we want all those gearing options. We want to be able to go fast in a big gear in the front and be able to dump down to a lower gear for those climbing sections. So what we see here, we're going to do a Shimano one today. I haven't seen a SRAM front derailleur in a long time that wasn't electronic. So maybe if we can find a SRAM one, because the procedure is different because they use a yaw system on that. But I do have a Shimano one to show you. Yeah, that's right, y'all. So I do have a Shimano one to show you today. Okay. The procedure for the high and low limit is the same as we just demonstrated. They're not going to show you. They're not going to say high or low on this guy. So sometimes a little bit of trial and error. Sometimes you'll use the wrong one. You'll be like, oh, God, it's the other one. But there is definitely a different procedure for dialing in these derailleurs. And you're going to find the same procedure, I believe, from 105 and up. Anything below 105, you're going to start getting Sora, and then you're going to use that barrel adjuster like we just showed you on the mountain bike derailleur. So doing the same thing, let's just pretend that I'm having trouble shifting in my front derailleur. So again, I'm going to start by dumping into my low gear in the back and low gear in the front. Now, what's different about this guy is you can see the cable routing is much different. It's much more sophisticated and much more elegant than the one we were just working on. They have this cool little cap that kind of hides the inside of the derailleur and routes the cable nice and neatly. Now, let's see. Unprepared.
No, not us.
These are now going to be a 4mm hex wrench. I hope this is 4mm. Let's see. And provided that I'm satisfied with my low and my high limit on here, what I want to do is disengage that front cable again. And I'm going to re-hook it up once. Okay. Totally ill-prepared.
Brandon did not stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
So instead of using the barrel, this derailleur has this little tension screw right here, which is super cool. I like it quite a bit. I'm going to just barrel this out just a little bit so I have something to work with when I'm readjusting my cable tension. And if you look on this one, if you want to get in real close, you do see the limit screws right here. This is my low, this is my high limit screw. Work the same way as the other one. As you go through different derailleurs, we're going to see them in maybe different places and configured in different ways, whether it's right or left. So this guy I'm going to hook back up, and I'm going to use some moderate cable tension once again. And this one does take a little bit of a dexterity, I found. It's not the easiest sometimes. So with moderate cable tension, I'll hook this back up. And then we're going to see the real distinguishing part of this adjustment. So I'm going to give it a couple shifts, see where we're at. Hopefully I didn't do it perfectly. Ah, good, I didn't. So you see, I'm having difficulties shifting up to this big ring here.
Yeah,
it's not going in very smoothly at all.
No.
Now here's the cool thing about these guys. I have 2 hash marks. If you got to come real close in here, Thomas, that'd be good.
Yep, I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in post.
Okay, so I have these 2 hash marks that you see here and here, and actually I'm kind of way off, aren't I? I don't know if I'll be able to get there, but I'm going to try. Using those hash marks, I'm going to line up, using this 2mm tension screw, I want to adjust this until those hash marks line up. Oh boy, I'm not even close. So I didn't put enough tension on that cable when I hooked it up the first time.
Okay.
So I'm going to try this again. It might take a little bit of trial and error on there.
Is that like Siskel and Ebert?
So here's some more cable tension. I'm going a little bit tighter now. And even you can give yourself a little bit of slack here using that cage to make it even tighter.
Okay.
That's okay. And again, we've messed with this cable enough times, so I'm starting to flatten out. I'm starting to fray.
Right.
So not a ton of pressure on that cable. It just needs to flatten out and deform just a little bit to get a good tight hold on the cable itself. So here we go. So now, actually, this is what I forgot to do. This is the right way, sorry. Don't listen to the first time I did this. So this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We're gonna go to your...
Brandon, you're the best.
So that was also already a pretty good shift.
Shift, yeah.
So now what I need to do is, once I'm up in that one, we have a trim feature on this one, which allows us to be in lower gears in the back while still being in our climbing gear in the front. So that trim shift is just one little click in. This wasn't a crucial part of that last screw up.
Right.
So now that I have that one trim shift in, now we are going to take a look at our hash marks.
And now we're gonna line those puppies up.
And hopefully you can get in there and see that with my poor eyesight. It looks pretty darn good to me. Using this 2mm and this little guy right here, my 2 hash marks are lined up. And that's a no-brainer. They're making it so easy for you. Once those hash marks are lined up, you have perfect cable tension.
Right.
So now we can put the cable back in. And the way I like to do the cable is I like to dump it into my low gear and then give myself a little bit of room. You can see when I do this, it kind of opens up that little body. Make sure that's all the way seated behind that piece. Whoops. Give it a little tug. And go ahead and do the same thing. Give it some good shifts. Give it some violent shifts. See if it's going to jump off to the inside, to the outside. This is all looking good. Now my job is to take it outside, take it for a test ride, do the same thing before you get out into the real world. Make sure everything's shifting perfect. Hopefully it is, and hopefully you've done a good job.
Awesome. All right, let's transition back to the main camera, Brandon.
1, 2, 3.
All right, my friends, there you have it. That is how you adjust a front derailleur on a mountain bike or a bike that's equipped with an entry-level group.
Hopefully that was clear as mud, huh?
Yeah, definitely different than adjusting it on a 105 or above, a higher-end group, top-tier group, as I put it. And yeah, guys, you know, one, we definitely appreciate you. For everybody who watches this video, everybody that takes the time to subscribe, comment, everything like that in a respectful way, we appreciate you. We do things kind of our own way here, and we have our own unique style.
Oh, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, of doing stuff, but I think it just makes us more approachable, and you know, we're regular people like, you know, you, and yeah, we're gonna goof up and stuff like that. So why make it look like we walk on water? Because that's certainly not the case. So, Brandon, anything you want to add before I do the close?
Just very quickly,
Okay.
It's important if you're buying a new derailleur and setting up, the process will be the same, but it's very important that you either get help or you do your research and get the correct derailleur. There's so many configurations out there and so many compatibility issues that make sure you get the right one for your bike.
Awesome.
And that's my last 2 cents.
All right, good advice, good advice. So, friends, like, subscribe, bell notification icon. It's the trifecta we love so much here at Get Out Arizona. There's going to be some links down below. The most important one is for Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. If you have any questions about today's video, you can obviously comment down below and ask them, or you can go ahead and call Brandon or one of his great team members here. They'll be more than happy to help you. I love these guys. Been dealing with them for several years now. I couldn't imagine going anyplace else. Our social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the devil's work. But if you want to keep up on our group rides, group hikes, the day-to-day of Get Out Arizona, that's the place to do it. So show us some love there. Also, the affiliate links, they help out with small commissions. You don't get charged anything additional, but we get a little extra money, and it helps out with gas money, coffee money, and park passes, the other trifecta. So on that note, my friends, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get Out Arizona.
Amen to that, brother. We'll see you guys on the next adventure. Take care, everybody. Brandon, we'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.